Probably been a minute since I introduced myself here. I'm Rick Sigmund. I'm the founder of the Family Readiness Project. If this is your first time listening, I'm former federal law enforcement, did professional security executive protection, and a lot of consulting over the years. And now I've started a movement for parents, parents of faith, and parents who wish to push back on culture and society and everything. And let me make a statement real quick. I am not the epitome of anything to emulate here, and it's never the point, because we can all choose every day to either stay the same or to do better, because we have all made mistakes. I have made mistakes. My wife has made mistakes. My parents made mistakes. Her parents made mistakes. And you, dear watcher and listener, depending on where you are, you've made mistakes. We're human. That's how we were made. We are flawed innately, but we do not have to be content with that state. I think that's very important to begin with, because I feel that way too many people out on the interwebs present themselves in a very false manner, in a very false light. And it's not that people don't deserve potential accolades. Nobody's saying that. But we're human. And on the other side of things, there's a massive portion of Christianity that just self-degradation is just how they get throughout the day. It's like, oh, I'm not worthy. I'm not. My God, man, stop. Let's actually be real with one another. Let's actually have an adult human conversation and try to move the bar, because Christians, specifically those of faith, those of a Judeo-Christian background. So I'm not speaking strictly to Christians by any means, but if we proclaim a faith, if we proclaim belief in God, then a Judeo-Christian background, we believe in the Bible and what the Bible says. And if you spend time reading the Bible, you very swiftly find out, like, oh man, we are fallen. I am too. That's the whole point. It's this beautiful reflection of our flawed state with a God that redeems. Okay? I'm not going to get all preachy on you in this one, but hey, we're going to talk about things. I have a desire. You have a desire to do and be and grow better, a better dad, a better mom. I want to be a better husband. I want to be a better follower of Christ. I want to be a better friend. I want to be a better brother. My mom and dad have already passed on. I would have loved to have been a better son. Okay. There's always room for better and for improvement, is there not? I think we would agree. Yes, there is. Housekeeping. Housekeeping, since we've never actually done that. This is new. I've done stuff on the online space before, but this is a pretty stinking new endeavor. And I'm stumbling into the process of what we're doing here. So I have come up with, you're going to find out what I've come up with today. And we're going to talk about these things. But I've come up with kind of a schedule, so to speak. And the schedule for this week is called Becoming a Parent Worth Following. And I'll tell you how we got here. A dear watcher and listener out there in the world, a mom named Misha, who came over to me from The Commonplace. It's an online community mostly for moms who homeschool their kids. It's fantastic. Autumn rocks. She is the person who began that whole thing, and I've gotten to speak with her on her podcast a couple times. I digress. Misha came over from there, and she has been interacting with me on some of the things I posted, and I greatly appreciated that. Misha asked a question that hit me pretty hard, and she basically, I'm summarizing here, how do we become parents worth following? profound statement, humble statement, and true statement for all of us. How do we become parents worth following? That's a big topic, Misha, but it's the important topic because I think that's why most of us are here. That's why I'm here. I want to be a better parent who is not in a place where my children and those who come later do not want to follow. I want to lead my family well. So do you. It cuts past strategy and tactics and these empirical singular things that people like to focus on, like, oh, what 5 things can I do or whatever. It goes to identity. I want to be a good parent. I want my sons to therefore be good fathers. I want my daughters to someday be good mothers who instill goodness, beauty, and truth in their children. And we want to be doing the same. That's actually the point of parenting, right? It's becoming someone worthy of being emulated and not a hypocrite. It's getting out of a loop, an excuse loop. It's like somebody with the mindset of, oh, before I go to the gym, I need to get in shape. And people think that. It's a weird thing to even think, but a lot of people, it's like, well, I am chubby. I am out of shape. I will be embarrassed if I go to the gym and people see me not being in shape. Bloody hell. That's what a gym is for, is so one can work out and get in shape or go outside and work out. Whatever it is, but it's an excuse. That's the whole point I'm trying to drive down to here. We all have excuses. I cannot do something, whatever it may be, because I'm not at a level that I think the world wants to see as worthy. We never are. And honestly, your kids don't care because they don't want you to be perfect before you start leading them. Your kids need you now. They need you today, not someday when things come together. Because I have learned in my various careers that a good plan executed now is better than a perfect plan executed someday. Because someday never shows up. Today is the day we've been given. We must lead while we are growing. We have to begin the journey of being a better parent while we're parenting. That's the trick. And a lot of you are honestly doing a really great job at this. I'm not here to do a beat down on anyone. Was a good reminder for not just me, from Misha. Thanks for asking the question, Misha, and many others that we're going to follow up on as we go along. But how do I become a better parent worth following? It's critical because we want those things. When you start leading now and you drop your excuses and you just begin to raise the bar for your family here's the trick, while you're raising the bar for yourself. And I'm not talking going from 0 to 100. I'm saying today, let's do 5% better than we did yesterday. Because you know what 5% better is? 5% better is an improvement for yourself, for your kids, for your wife, and for the world you live in. When your family sees you improving yourself and doing better with them, for them, and because of them, something will happen. They will begin respecting you more. I've seen it. I've seen it every single time. See, here's the trick. Here's the secret. Your kids actually want you to be a better you. Whether you have a great relationship with them or not, inside they're rooting for you. Because I'm not inviting people on here who are dirtbags, who are evil humans, do bad things to your kids. You're not welcome, and I will hunt you down someday. That's what I do. I'm talking to the other moms and dads who actually are tired of the status quo and want to do something better than we have done before. We want better for our families and for our children. So we will begin to be better for our kids, for our family, for your spouse, for your dog, for your cat, for your dinner table, for the food you eat, for everything. It just starts in small steps. Do not hide the journey that you want to be on. Begin the journey with the first step and model it. That's how your children will learn to follow somebody worth emulating. There is going to be pushback. There might be pushback from kids because the status quo is comfortable. It's normal. It's not different. Different requires effort. Different is hard. You're already wrestling with this because you're the one who's saying, I want to be a better mom or dad. That's understandable. Working out is difficult. Strapping your shoes on and stepping out the door to set your watch and go for that run, it's a mental fight. Sometimes every time. Some days it gets easier, some days it doesn't. But I'll tell you what, every time I've ever gone on a run or done a good workout or had a very good training session, even, no, especially when nothing in me in the world has wanted to get out and do that thing, I have been grateful and thankful that I did it. I will tell you a story. A buddy of mine who started me on the powerlifting journey, squats, deadlifts, bench press, all those good things. I remember texting him one day and he was texting me. It's like, are you going to the gym? He said, are you going to the gym? And I was like, yes, I am going to the gym. Did I want to go to the gym? No. Long story short, we both get to the gym. We pull up in our cars beside each other and we look over at each other and we kind of glare at each other. We get out of the car and we both admitted on the spot, nothing in me wanted to go to the gym today. We were mad. We were mad about being there. But you know what we did? We walked in there and we threw weights on bars and we lifted. And it was a far better day that we did that than it would have been if we didn't. As a matter of fact, it would have been an awful day if we had not done that because we would have known we let ourselves and each other down. So there's something, an accountability partner. But I already jumped off the cliff and got off track from what I was wanting to say because you're going to get pushback. You could get pushback from your family. You're definitely going to get pushback from culture and society. Because parenting, the bar for parenting, weightlifting analogies, this is good. The bar for parenting is on the floor. The expectations of our children is right beside it. The expectation of manhood, I'm talking to dads now and myself, that bar is also on the floor. There are almost no expectations from the world. As a matter of fact, the world wants to pull you down. The world wants to take your place. This culture, this new culture that's crept in, right? The media is pushing, social media is pushing, some people in pretty powerful positions seem to be pushing. It's against you and your family, and your marriage, in your home, and your faith. It wants you to fail. I do not want you to fail. Your spouse does not really want you to fail. Your children surely do not want you to fail, moms and dads. Don't fail. A little bit better every day. Push back on entropy that the world has placed before us. Therefore, we need something. We need a new standard to follow because the world's standards is set and is very low. We can raise the bar. We can have a standard because a standard is not, it's not a journey towards perfection. It's never supposed to be. Okay? But if we have a standard that's higher than where I am, and surely there is, and basically every single thing I do, then instead of something daunting that is difficult and I don't want to face, it gives me something to point at. Whether or not I get all the way to the standard or not, and most of the times it's a not, if I progress, if I move myself towards a standard, I am in a better spot than I would have been if I had not. And if you do this while taking care of your family, while holding your children lovingly to a higher standard, holding yourself to a higher standard, bringing your wife or your husband along with you, and getting them to a higher standard, you have made your home a better place, which will, in fact, affect the world you live in, the community that is around you, your friends that see you, those you work with, those you go to church with, even your family outside of your home. They will see a difference. Will everyone be a fan? No. But the ones who are worthy of respect will respect you for being on it. The standard. I've been working on this for a while. It is a work in progress, and I'll tell you what, it's probably going to evolve and change as time goes on. But I think this is a pretty good baseline because I've hammered this around for a while, and I want to present it to you guys here today. It's called the 7 Pillars of Family Readiness. We are the Family Readiness Project. The standard. Here we go. Step 1, Pillar 1, the 7 pillars. Haha. Pillar 1, family, fellowship, and common bonds. It means your connection with your family, your actual relationship with them is very important. Your faith is first, okay? I follow this order. Faith, wife, family, vocation, what we do, all right? God is first. My spouse, covenant relationship counts. Our children below that are the rest of our family is in that pile. And then those we interact with. All are important. I'm not saying they're not, but there is an order to the structure. And so your faith must be on a good path. It ebbs, it flows. That's life. Some days God seems far, some days God seems very near. Thankfully, that is by His grace. But your faith journey to keep you from being a hypocrite to your kids should be first. Your spouse and your children do count. How we interact with them, how we build our relationships, how we problem solve, how we deal with hardship and trouble and worldview, okay? Those things count because opposing worldviews, opposing drama, opposing problems are going to come against us sometimes daily. So we have to have a good baseline. We have to have a good foundation of this entire thing. So pillar 1, family, fellowship, and common bonds. Pillar number 2, digital awareness and defense. Why did I put this one here? Because we are on our bloody phone a lot. Too many kids have phones. We'll talk about that sometime coming up. Not here. We're being affected by what we see, what we immerse ourselves in, the noise that the world presents to us. It's simply a fact of life. So if we're being affected by that, we need to understand how to equip ourselves and our family, first spiritually, there's an order of go here, but then very practically to understand what these threats are and how we deal with them. This is the one that's going to be definitively evolving over time because technology is always changing all the time. So this is a common thread that we're going to come back to. And it's the number one concern of most parents out there due to our demographic understanding. Pillar 3, family systems. Families should have systems. You don't want to live life haphazardly. You also don't want to be a doggone rigid government program or drill instructor to anyone. Your home doesn't need that. Please don't. If you are, repent and stop. Okay? Structure, roles in a family, and daily rhythms that create peace and not chaos, that create forward momentum. All right? That create a good foundation that actually create safety within your home. They create communication, they create trust. They also give you the structure to deal with things, to make plans, to have a rainy day fund and safeguard all kinds of things. Family systems is pillar 3. Pillar number 4, cultural discernment. It follows very closely with digital awareness, but it is more than just that. It's not just the digital world that our culture presents itself to us. It's in some kids' education, those who do not homeschool your children, even those who do. Culture and ideology of our society absolutely is in our face, probably more than we want it to be. Things affect your kids and your family. Culture, your friends, who you're friends with, who your kids are friends with, what they see on the news, the media you will allow in your homes, things that you can do nothing about that is in your face out in public and on the street. By the way, there is not supposed to be a little Christian bubble that you keep your family in and never let them out. We don't see that anywhere in the Bible or anywhere in good history. It does not exist. So if you have that mindset, knock it off. And I'm going to give you a real world viewpoint. We have known in my life growing up, we knew families like this. I know families like this today. Here's what happens when they release, or their kids on their own volition release themselves to the world. They are set up for absolute failure because they do not have the common understanding, the perspective, or the capabilities of dealing healthily with what they encounter. That is a failure of parenthood. Calling it out. Cultural discernment's important. If your kids aren't learning from us in a right way, they will learn these things somewhere else. Pillar number 5, crisis readiness. Oh God, the sky is falling. Rick's a prepper. He's crazy. Quit talking to him. Turn that stuff off. All wrong. All wrong. But a little bit of paranoia can go a long way. I'm mostly joking in that, but that can be a good statement from time to time. Why crisis readiness? Because things happen. If you live life, things happen. Here's the issue. Most people are reactive to every single thing that happens to them. There is the other end of the spectrum where every bump in the dark and any hint of anything going on, people put their guard up and they freak out and, everything's bad. I'm not one of those people. But I am a person who looks for threats that are valid and real, and also looks and thinks for ways to mitigate risks when it is appropriate. Because you have to raise your children to be able to handle things that happen. Crises do happen. When we first moved to this place we live in, we had a 100-year windstorm immediately after we showed up. It's a 100-year windstorm, folks. It didn't happen for 100 years prior to that. And it was literal 100-mile-per-hour winds. The power went out over the entire area and region. And I mean, power and services were just out for a while. Okay. That's a single point example. I lived in Florida as a kid. We had these things, what were they? Oh, hurricanes. Hurricanes happen. It depends where you are. There can be blizzards, there can be heat, there can be power outages. Hello, Texas. Have you ever had a power outage? In the last few years, you have, and it really affected a lot of communities and people. The Appalachian Mountains had a hurricane blow through. That's never happened in the history of ever. Okay? These are simple, natural events that I'm talking about. That has nothing to do with human affected events. Okay? Here's my point. I'm not trying to get people all spun up and on a fear cycle. May it never be. I hate fear. I've said it. I'll probably say it every single episode because I do. Because why? Fear is debilitating and it's foolishness. And if you operate out of fear, you are very ineffective in everything you do. Period. So don't live in fear. Fear can be taught through. Fear can be lessened by exposure and understanding and concepts and knowledge and ability and skill set. That's what this pillar is about. Pillar number 6, legacy and leadership. Legacy, why? Because I want my children and my grandchildren and my grandchildren's children and so on to be different than the rest of the world is. You do too. We want a good legacy. We want our bloodline, words that we don't use anymore in our culture, but man, oh man, I want your progeny and those who carry your name in the future to be better, not superior, but better than the common culture. And so do you. I already said that, so not going to beat a horse deader. Legacy and leadership. So how do we get there? Well, we do it by leading our family. This includes identity, family identity, and faith identity. You need to be able to pass along your values. You need to model mission-minded parenting. Mission-minded parenting is a thing. We need to educate our children. Did you know the number one commandment in all of the entire Bible for fathers is that we educate our kids? Did you know that? It's more than anything else. Vodi Bakum, a great Reformed pastor out there. If you've never listened to a Vodi Bakum sermon, go listen to Vodi. He's awesome. And he expounds what I do, classical education. I do care. I was about to say I don't care, but I do. I think classical education is the model to emulate. And I will tell you why in a later episode, not today. But classical education is the education that the entire Western culture was educated with for over 2,000 years. They have tried to absolutely crush the concept of it, they being honestly compulsory state-led education. Progressive education is the absolute opposite of what classical education is. How we educate our kid counts. Whether you send your kids to a public school, to a private school, or whether you homeschool, be the leading portion of your child's education. You can make a difference no matter what model you choose to follow. How we educate our kids is important. It is our responsibility, moms and dads, not some esoteric department or teacher or school board out there to determine the path of education for your child. Because how your child is raised to think, which is what education is, will absolutely affect their legacy, their future, their worldview, their identity, and their values. Vodi Bakum has a famous statement. Why do you send your kids to Rome and then be surprised when they return as Romans? He's talking about modern education. Chew on that. Pillar 7, the last pillar. Story-driven discipleship. This is something that I've been asked to do. Rick, tell more stories. I actually like that. I love telling stories. I'm a storyteller, and yeah, I have a few. But we humans, the way God made us, we're people of story. We pay money for stories. We go see movies. At least we did when I grew up. I don't know what's going on now. We watch good stories on TV. We read good books with good stories over time. Stories are how cultures are built, and the narrative of our story has been manipulated and changed over the years. The cultures and the values that have been passed on through story is fundamentally other than what used to be perpetuated by a believing, quote unquote, Judeo-Christian society. I want us, mom and dad, you and I, to redeem this as a practice. This is why I hammer reading so much. It's a classical thing as well, but I grew up reading. I was very lucky that had a mother who raised us reading mountains of books. She was a voracious reader, and myself and all of my brothers are voracious readers as a result. It made a massive difference, okay? But reading's not the only way to tell stories. We have family stories, we have personal stories, we have cultural stories, we have historical stories. Stories are what drives everything. God uses stories in the Bible. Jesus uses stories to teach everyone. That's what parables are. They are stories. We use the stories of the apostles. We use the stories of the saints. We use the stories of the prophets and all of those who came before us so that we may learn. We must redeem this in our everyday, weekly, monthly, lifelong practice. I want us to become a people of story because I want your children to pass on your stories. I want your family to have stories that they remember generationally and they pass on so that your future generations, your legacy, can be different and other than what things used to be or what the standard for the culture is today. And as a result, this is why I want this to be a movement. I keep saying that, but the Family Readiness Project to me is a movement more than anything else. Because if I can change my family and if I can help you to change your family and yourself, mom and dad, to be that mom or dad worth following, then we can change our culture. We can put different things forward so that the rest of our family thinks on it. And maybe some of them will follow by example. Maybe some of your friends will see what's going on in your home with your children and want to do the same for theirs. Maybe some people that you work with and you see on a daily basis will want to do the same. And slowly, over time, we can have the ability to change this culture that we live in that is currently so much against us now. May we be people who actually lead change, starting in our home. So there it is. Those are the 7 pillars. No, you do not have to master all 7. I surely haven't. I just came up with them. Good grief. But what we're going to do is we're going to follow this model. We're going to follow the steps and the concepts and the processes that are part of all 7 of these things. And it encompasses basically all of life, does it not? Our goal is movement. Again, not perfection. Movement in a trajectory toward a standard worthy of trying to get to, worthy of pursuit, because we all do need that. Because as you grow, as you lead these things, as you engage with the concepts of each of these pillars, I'll read through it one more time, not in detail. Number 1, family fellowship and common bonds. Number 2, digital awareness and defense. Number 3, family systems. Number 4, cultural discernment. Number 5, crisis readiness. Number 6, legacy and leadership. And number 7, story-driven discipleship. Okay? I'm happy. I'm so glad, and I did not come up with it on my own, so don't do that. But I built a baseline on things that I have pulled together from different sources, okay? Because I need something to follow, something to pattern myself after, something to pattern my family after, okay? We could say the Bible, that's the easy button, but it's also the impossible button because most people are not just completely immersed in every aspect of Scripture where we remember it perfectly in the moment that we need, in the example that God gives. Is it a journey that we should be on? Yeah, we should. But these 7 pillars simplify things. Think of what Dave Ramsey has done with the baby steps formula for personal finance, right? Why not families have the same thing? Be a better parent, moms and dads, because I am with you on this journey. I want you to be better than you were yesterday. I want you to be better than you were even an hour ago. And it doesn't take much. It takes just one step in a different direction. Come with me on this journey. Join this movement. Okay, I'm not good at asking this online stuff. I'm not a freaking influencer, so don't go down that weirdness, all right? But if you are listening to this on iTunes or Spotify or one of the audio versions of the podcast, thank you. I'm a major podcast nerd. I listen to podcasts all the time. I would be very honored if you would take time to leave a review and give me a thumbs up, or I don't know, whatever they do on those platforms on iTunes and Spotify. But it would mean a lot to me, and it would also help other moms and dads find this. YouTube is the same. I actually have an entire YouTube podcast. It's the exact same thing. If you're on audio, you're hearing it, you just get to see me. And every once in a while, I'll put stuff up on the screen other than my face. Know this, I've got interviews coming with a lot of people. I am friends and have relationships with psychologists and school counselors, other professionals in many different areas. And it's pretty exciting that I'm going to get to interview some people that I really respect and I have learned from and will continue to learn from. And I think you will also benefit from hearing from them. Go to the website, familyreadinessproject.com, if you've not yet signed up. And it's more than just a newsletter. This is how I keep people informed on what I'm doing. I will be adding more detailed stuff in the newsletter as time goes on. I have a free family, it's called the Crisis Safety Guide. And when you sign up for the email list and newsletter, you get that free. It's a robust document. That thing took me a long time to build, and I'm going to be continuing to build it and improve upon it over time. All right. So there's things I'm doing. I also have a digital discernment course, and man, I'm working hard on that. I am doing an insane amount of research because I don't know everything. I know a lot. I've been exposed to probably way too much on the digital side, on the oh God, scary side. There's a lot of material to go down. There's a lot of things that are very targeted against your kids, your sons specifically, your daughters specifically. We're going to do a serious deep dive on that entire topic, and I'll tell you what, it's going to be massively beneficial. It's also going to give you serious tools to help teach your sons and daughters some discernment on their own, to help other parents, to help your kids' friends, to put boundaries in place and safeguards and borders. And if things have gone off the rails already, because for a lot of people, I'm just going to call it out. Porn's a big one. It is crazy how young kids are nowadays that actually see porn. And there are online bots that target your kids through facial recognition. That's insane to me. But they're being targeted. And so here's what I'm trying to say. Things for some people have already come off the rails and they're scared and they've just shut things down and they don't really know what to do. This is going to help you out on how to redeem that, how to repair those small eyes and to repair that heart and that little spirit that's seen things that are completely inappropriate for them. We're also going to talk to moms and dads because that's a thing in our culture that parents deal with as well. And I'm going to tell you this, your kids will do what you do. Whether you think it's hidden or not, a lot of times they know. So please sign up. There's a pre-sign up form. I'm really trying hard. We're already in July. I'm recording this on the 4th of July. Happy Independence Day late. And by the way, I made a YouTube Independence Day video if you want to go check that out. It's honoring some people who deserve to be honored. But I would love for you to sign up for the digital discernment course if you're interested. And those who sign up early will get a discount. Okay? Closing thoughts. Good parents raising children with the best chance for the future are you. You can be that good parent. You can be that parent worth emulating. And honestly, I think if you're already listening to this or you're watching this, you have the mindset that you want things to be better for your kids and for yourself. I am your biggest fan. This is not a movement. This is our movement. I can't do this without you. I can try hard, but trying hard is not enough. And I'll tell you what, doing this, me having to get ready to talk to you guys every week, I write a blog post every week, I record videos every week, I do research every week. Oh man, it has helped me personally be different, hopefully be better, right? I've started working out more as a result. I've started reading more myself and to my own children, right? Was my home perfect before I started this? Is it perfect today? No. But is it better than it was yesterday? Yeah, it's better. And that's the point. Thank you. God bless you. I appreciate you. Man, like Misha, send me a note. Good Lord, I love hearing from you people. You guys have great thoughts. You have great ideas. You have incredibly good feedback. I am honored every little piece of anything I get from you. Right now, I am able to respond to everyone and everything I get. I will respond to you. So thank you very much. All right. Talk to you soon.